Hi, Chris Walker here. Today I want to talk to you about the Back on Track program. You know, I've been working with human development for about 35 years, and in that period of time I've seen many paradigms come and go about how to influence a person's life. I've seen the DeMartini collapse process, which is a profound way of changing a human mind. I've seen health programs come and go. I ran them at Camp Eden, the Ritz-Carlton. I've run them in the Bhutan, where you go and get more healthy and do yoga and meditate and do things like that. I've seen environmental campaigns. I'm an environmental engineer. I've studied ecology. I've seen the influence of a change of environment on Indigenous children in Canada and in Nepal and all over the world, where you can just change the circumstances a person's in and change their life. I've seen values-based leadership, and when I did my MBA, we talked about how to change the culture of an organization, and that was my specialty. And I came out from that MBA and changed the cultures of 60 companies and transformed their business on the basis of just shifting the culture. I've worked with vision quests, and I was lucky enough to be welcomed into the communities of First Nation people in Canada and in North America, down in Taos, New Mexico. And in those situations where we do sweat lodge and vision quest, I recognize that the human spirit is a vision. It's a dream, and it's a bunch of dreams. And I see that people who are depressed have lost those dreams. So I've seen solutions to a lot of mental problems come about through the functioning of a vision quest. And finally, through working with people like Anthony Robbins, neuro-linguistic programming techniques, mental elasticity, I've seen incredible gifts from the process of being able to help a person change the self-talk, think and talk differently to themselves, become a better friend. But what I noticed was each one of those 6 things that I've just described on their own was inadequate. In other words, if you change the environment and you didn't change everything else, the environment wasn't enough to sustain itself, and it eventually reverted. If you change a culture of a company and you don't change the strategy and the structure of the company, it reverts. If you change the health of a person, you don't change their mind. You don't reprogram their brain and help them think differently, but just work on their health. They revert as well. So I've seen these gifted process of yoga and meditation and all these health programs that I've run, and I've run them all. So I confess that I've done what I thought was the best thing. But what I've come to realize after 35 years is you must do them all. If you are going to make a sustainable change, you must change your mind. You must change your mind in terms of its perception of the past. That's one of the most important things, because the past is the greatest determinant of the future. So we must change our perception of the past. We must change our health, because if we change what we think about the past, we change our mind, our body has still got a memory. And that memory, if we don't actually work on it and detox and get the body functioning in a different way with yoga and a bit of meditation and relaxation, it's going to revert and bring the mind back to where it was. If we're going to change the mind and the health, we must work on the environment, because if we keep the environment the same, the person's mind and their body will be stuck in a situation that it remembers from the past, and those two will revert as well. We need to change the values. We need to work on a value set. And just as we did in organizations where we got culture change, we need to work on the environment to witness that culture change. We need to change the health, which is the systems and the structure of the life, and we need to change the mindsets. So when we change our lives, we need to change mind, health, environment. We need to prioritize and get our values right, and we need to do a vision quest. The vision quest can actually be realistic as a predictor for the future only if the 4 things that underpin it are also transformed. And finally, if we keep saying the same things to ourselves, the same self-talk over and over again, and we neuro-linguistically don't reprogram our brain, then our brain is going to fight, and we're going to have a really strong arm wrestle with where we want to go and where we are actually talking ourselves into going. And so getting our brain, our neuroplasticity, getting our programming in our mind to be manifesting what we want is a very critical part about going forward with ease. Now we go forward with turmoil, but going forward with ease, we need the brain on board. And with those 6 happening all at once, we get results. That's the Back on Track program. I encourage you to look at your mindset, look at your beliefs from the past and let go of what's not productive. That's using the laws of nature. We do a health program where you get fitness, where you get relaxation techniques, where you get some yoga, some meditation, and we get your body functioning at a new level and especially more stamina. We look at your environment, the clothing, your appearance, your brand, the way you represent yourself, what your office looks like, and help you understand that in the context of the last 2. We look at your values. What are your priorities? Have they changed? Have things started to evolve for you and you haven't even recognized it? Next, we do a vision quest. We make sure that your new vision represents a fresh and exciting and very naive sense of a dream of where you'd love to go, just like you had when you were 20 years old. And finally, we reprogram your brain so that the information that's being fed to your mind through the internal dialogue is a good friend inside yourself, because you can't get treated any better than you treat yourself. Nobody treats you better than you treat yourself. And this is a very critical awareness that you can have in determining the future that you would love to have. And we're going to create a future so there's harmony in it, not turmoil. This is Chris Walker. Have a beautiful day. Bye for now.